Hello and welcome to ACS Golf, and today's review has been released on a Friday, which can only mean one thing: is a brand new club for 2024. Now, before I get into that review, just a nod to Billy Horschel, who won the Wentworth event, so the BMW PGA Championship event the other day. I actually went down to watch it. This is why I'm wearing this cap today and not my normal ACS Golf cap that I have with my logo on the front, because not only did I pick this up on the day when I actually went around and watched him, I actually got him to sign it. So there you go. So I got Billy's signature on there as well. So if you're a big fan of Billy, such as myself, I thought I'd show that today by wearing this cap. Play some fantastic golf. If you've never gone to Wentworth before, if you're in the UK or in the US or wherever, and you want to come over and watch some golf in the UK, do pick Wentworth. It's a really good setup. It's a really fun course. It's not just about power. There's a lot of shot shaping, everything like that. It's got some great stands. It's a really good day out. I went this year. It was actually the first time I went, even though I just live around the corner, really, just down the road. Down the road, probably about 30 minutes drive away, but relatively speaking, down the road. First time I went this year, and I'll definitely be going back next year because I had such a good time. So yeah, do go to Wentworth, and a little bit of a nod there to the Billy Horschel fans, having his signature cap, and obviously, well, it's great that he won because he played really, really well, even though I'm a massive fan of Rory as well. That playoff that they did was fantastic. If you haven't seen it, do go and watch it on YouTube because I'm sure you can find highlights. Now, let's get into the club. So the club is this. It is the Paradym Ai Smoke Triple Diamond from Callaway. Now, the reason I picked this club up is because, number one, I've always wanted to try the Ai Smoke. I always want to try the Paradym. To be fair, I wouldn't say the Triple Diamond's really set up for me. You need to be averaging a swing speed over 100 miles per hour. I'm just below that 98, but I still wanted to give it a go. And I also brought this and did a test against the Rogue ST Triple Diamond. So do check out that versus video. That is already on the channel. So do check that one out because it is a great video. So basically, that's the reason I picked it up. I'm always a big fan of the big hitting clubs out there. So I really want to get my hands on this and give it a go for the channel. And that is what I've done. So there you go. So as always, what we're going to do is we're going to have a closer look at this club. We're going to come back here, go for all the technology that's in it. Then we're going to get down to the range. And then I'm going to discuss my findings of this club and obviously go through the ACS Golf Scale. And I'll also discuss if I think you should be using it. Well, if you can use this with a swing speed under 100 miles an hour. Like I mentioned, mine is around 98 miles per hour, or if maybe it should be given a miss. All right, guys. Let's have a closer look at this club. So there you go. It's a very good looking club, really do like the look of these Ai Smoke clubs there. Just get some light on there best I can. I can't really get some light on there, but you just see them close up of it anyway, so you know how it looks. Not too sure about the lack of alignment aid. I know these are aimed at a better player who probably don't want that distraction on top, but personally still just stick a Callaway logo there. It's not that hard to do it. Also, I love the shape. I do love the shape of a better player's head. I do that more compact shape, bigger face. I do love it. Now, going into technology in this club. So obviously you've got the world's first AI smart face designed using real player data. So the idea is they've taken 250,000 swings, 50,000 face iterations, 80,000 line of custom code, and 1.4 million data points. Sorry, 1.04 million data points there. So a lot of big numbers there. The all-new AI Smart Face optimizes drive performance using swing dynamics from thousands of real golfers. These swing dynamics or swing code consist of swing speed, club delivery, face orientation just prior to impact, and this promotes optimal launch conditions and tight downrange dispersion. So the idea, they're trying to find out where your average golfer hits this across the face so they can improve the spots where it is hit, to increase the ball speed so there's not that big drop off, to keep the club, make it as forgiving as possible across the face. So, AI isn't a new thing now. You know, all the big firms do use AI technology. I know obviously Callaway mentioned it a lot more than the others, but you know, they're all doing this now. They're all putting data in and they're all getting this information out. So moving on with the idea of this, you know, micro deflection creates multiple sweet spots. So that's the whole point of this testing, is it creates multiple sweet spots, you know, where a previous drive you might have lost 12 yards here. Now if you hit it there, you still keep those 12 yards. So you'll probably lose maybe only 3 or 4 yards. So, you know, that's the whole idea behind it, you know, increasing forgiveness. So with the AI smart face technology, micro deflections are activated upon impact, helping to optimize launch and spin on off-centered shots. This results in sweet spots in the center and all over the face. So there you go. And you know, they compared that to the previous, you know, Paradym model as well, when they tested it on a Foresight CG quad by a robot. So there you go, to prove that there's more sweet spots on this than the original Paradym. And I'm not going to lie, if you ever do try, or you're looking at the Paradym Triple Diamond, that is a beast distance wise, but it's unforgiving as hell. So do beware. It's a bit like that the tailor-made sim when it came out, you know, massive if you hit it in the middle. If you don't hit it quite in the middle, it could go horrendously wrong. And that's what the Paradym was. So the idea with this one, you know, Triple Diamond, they got the distance out the middle. You know, this isn't any longer, let's be honest, than the original Paradym Triple Diamond. But the idea is now they're going, well, yes, if you hit it out the middle, it's going to be the same. However, you know, if you miss hit it, this is going to be longer for you on average. And that's really what a lot of the new clubs are trying to do nowadays. It isn't trying to increase the distance, because let's be honest, distance is as increased as it can be, you know, with all the technology and all the limits that you can have in these clubs, you know, face thickness, etc. You're not going to hit it any further. So all of them are trying to work on, you know, that forgiveness, apart from Cobra, who obviously have really good forgiveness anyway, generally, but they were working on more with speed for aerodynamics. Which I can't complain. I mean, I use the Dark Speed X and absolutely love it. It's been in the bag pretty much all year. It's probably longest driver I've used, to be fair, because I normally do this channel and change my driver quite a bit, but that just stays in the bag. So good. I know, not a review for that. If you want to check the review for that, do check out the channel. Moving on to this. So a paradigm shift from a lighter, stronger carbon chassis. So the 360 carbon chassis, which was a big thing that came out in the Paradym last year. So this whole 360 carbon, so not like carbon panel on the top, carbon panel on the sides, which sort of normally happens. You know, this whole chassis there, and it all, you know, sort of thing gets plugged together. So it's been refined to promote increased weight distribution by adding an internal titanium support structure. The carbon chassis is now 15% lighter. This mass is redistributed into the head to improve launch conditions and add forgiveness. Each carbon fiber, so each forged carbon sole features a unique color and carbon pattern, making every piece one of a kind. So the idea is this, I mean, this, they've done to keep the same, but that bottom there, the idea is actually every single driver is slightly different. You're not going to have the same pattern on every driver, which pretty cool actually. That's quite a nice touch. You know, you're all getting a personalized driver there. Every single driver is different, which I think that's quite cool. So that 15% lighter carbon chassis, by the way, is compared to the Paradym from last year. Obviously, they can only do that compared to the Paradym last year because the Paradym was the only club to have that so far. You know, and the idea of that is they're making move weights further to the back to help launch. They mentioned to increase forgiveness, you know, put heavier weights here, etc. So the whole thing about clubs is really to save weight here so they can move weight around to get it perform better. Moving on to a workable shape for better players. As mentioned, triple diamonds for better players. So shaped with neutral to fade biased. So this club is actually, you know, it's sat pretty much open relatively. Personally, I don't have a problem with that. My issue is an overdraw. So I actually quite enjoy having an open face because it tends to mean it comes out maybe a little bit straighter. Might come out to the right and then fade and then draw back in, but just means I tend to hit the middle of the fairway a little bit more. My nightmare is when I see a club like that, and then all I know is I'm going to be hooking it left, and it's going to be a big hook left. So personally, for me, not an issue. If you slice the ball, may not want, you know, it may cause some issues for you if the club is already at an open face before you even hit the ball. So shaped with a neutral to fade bias face progression and a compact overall head size, The triple diamond model will suit better players looking for workability off the tee. For players looking to increase ball speed and lower spin, a 14-gram weight can easily be repositioned from the rear to the front. So I tested this with a 14-gram at the back because, you know, with my swing speed, I don't need it at the front. I did test it a bit at the front because obviously I need to help with launch. I need to get that spin up. So I had it at the back there and I had the 2-gram at the front. Obviously with these drivers as well, you can get customized weights. If you want to have a heavy weight at the front or a heavy weight at the back, sorry. And with the case with this, you know, if you're really fast swing speed, then you obviously can put that 14-gram right at the front to really lower that spin down even more. But do remember, you know, putting that 14-gram at the back will help increase launch and increase spin a little bit. But regardless of that, this is still a very low spinning club. And I'll show you that when we go through the actual results from this. So AI triple diamond, you can get in 8 degrees, 9 degrees and 10.5 degrees. 8 degrees only in right hand, just be aware. It's only 450cc, so it's not 460, it's not the full capacity. That's because obviously it makes it a little bit more easy to shape and just gives that a little bit more compact shape, which a lot of people like. Obviously you have a fit hosel. When it comes down to this, you know, you can close and open the face with this. You can increase the loft by 2 degrees and also decrease loft by 1 degree and obviously still keep it at a neutral setting. I personally actually set it up, this is 9 degrees and I set it up to 11 degrees for testing because again, you know, I actually play with my Cobra 12 degrees because it helps me get the ball in the air. I did change my swing for this actually, to be fair, because I do have a swing where I can actually get underneath it more and help get the ball in the air. However, it's a little bit more wild, so I don't use that on the golf course. But for testing with this, I did use that swing to really try and maximise the distance what I was getting with this. The standard shaft with it, obviously you get Tensai as well, blue, but it was this Project X Denali. There you go. I didn't test it with this. I actually tested it with a normal Project X stiff shaft because this was extra stiff and I do not have the swing speed for extra stiff, so I did test it with a stiff shaft to try and really maximize it out. Now if we just go into this, you know, and go into the air smoke, so if you just go through the total bits through Callaway here, you know, that the way they describe is better placing for more workability off tee, as we've mentioned, etc. Profile though, so if we compare it with the AI Smoke Max, you know, distance adjustability, both the profile, that and the AI Max. Shaping's modern, while shaping is compact and tall with this. You know, adjustability, you've got the sliding weight with the other one, you've got this, you know, the 14-gram of the weight. And this is the interesting bit. So launch is mid to high, yeah, with the basically the Max. With this, launch is low. It's low spin with the Max. And this is the thing, the Max is actually quite low spinning. You don't realise that. You know, when it comes down to this triple diamond, you know, this is also low spinning. And this is what a lot of the reviews out there, if you read them, you'll find that the actual Max is still very low spinning and it's pretty close to this numbers when it comes down to spin. And the way they've changed it is to make the Max mid to high launch, while this is a low launch. So the idea is, yes, it is still low spinning, but you're going to get it in the air better and therefore going to maximize distance. So there you go. And they do say, to be fair, for this club, it says swing speed, average to fast. So technically, I'm definitely in that average range. So really interesting to see if this does work for me. Okay, guys, well, there's all the technology that goes into this club. Beautiful looking thing. And the days has got to realise the joys of being in autumn in the UK. It's got dark pretty quickly outside. Anyway, let's now get down to range, throw some figures at you, and then come back here for the ACS Golf Scale. All right, see you in a bit. Here I am down at the range. Now let's jump straight into those figures. So on average I had a carry of 214 yards, total distance of 251 yards, ball speed 150 miles per hour, launch angle 13, height 57 feet and a swing speed of 98.1 miles per hour. So total distance and ball speed right where I'd expect it, you know, where I'd want my club to be. However, launch and well, not launch. Launch was all right, actually 13 degrees, but you know, total carry was really down, and that's because I wasn't getting the spin I needed to keep the ball in the air. When I got my swing speed up close to 100 miles per hour, so I actually hit this one 99.6 miles per hour, suddenly I'm getting a total distance of 269 yards, you know, I'm getting a carry of 235 yards, ball speed 155 miles per hour, launch angle 13.963. So when I actually get the swing speed up, this thing really did perform. You know, worse on the day though, you know, when the swing speed wasn't that quick at all, it was 209 yards carry, 242 yards total distance, you know, ball speed 146 miles per hour. Also an off-centre tee as well, which didn't help. You know, there with a launch angle of 15 as well, it really didn't go anywhere. So overall, if you swing fast, it goes well. So there you go, and not bad results to be fair. You know, total distance 151 yards. You know, when I really got it and it got the swing speed up to 99.6, so just below that 100 miles per hour. I got a launch angle right. You know, 235 yards carry, 269 yards total distance, ball speed 155 miles per hour. I would be taking those figures every single day, but you know, even though the average swing speed was 98.1 miles per hour, there's a few underneath that, and that just brought that average down. You know, you do need a good swing speed with this. Do I create an average swing speed? Maybe, perhaps, but yeah, I definitely think you need a 1 over 100 miles per hour. And there you go, I said it. I think you need 1 over 100 miles per hour. You know, if you're watching this and you have a swing speed below 100 miles per hour and you use this club, do let me know. You know, it could be really interesting to find out. The Rogue ST that I compared against Triple Diamond, that did spin a little bit more, had more height with it, and I could use that. Definitely this thing is a little bit too low spinning, even though I had it set 11 degrees. Changed my attack angle to really get that launch up. Didn't quite have it, but yeah. And you could tell that, you know, carry distance 214 yards, that's down. Like the average, yes, total distance 250, but I'm down about 10 yards already on carry there. But yeah, average 251 yards, total ball speed 150 miles per hour. That's great, love that. Launch angle 13, which again isn't that bad, but it's just the height, you know, 57 feet. You know, it's not high enough, you know, it's just not. I had one launch angle of 15 degrees, you know, which is pretty good, but only went 56 feet apart, you know, high. It's obviously just going up there, no spin on it, and just falling down. And, you know, rolled out for 41 yards, but am I going to be rolling out in the middle of winter 41 yards? No, this thing's going to go 210 yards carry and then just die, you know, and then I'm just looking, well, why I'm using 4 iron. So there you go. Anyway, let's get into the ACES golf scale. So remember, we've got distance, feel, looks, price, and forgiveness. Now let's go straight into distance. So yes, the distance is just on the average for me. Yes, the carry is down. Yes, you know, height and everything, it wasn't working for me, but I'm still going to give this a 5 out of 5 for distance, because, you know, when I did get that 99.6 miles per hour swing speed, and I can do it, you know, on another day, you know, I might have had a few more over 100, you know, I was getting really good with all this. 235 yard carry, 269 yards total distance, you know, ball speed 155 miles per hour, you know, launch angle 13, still a bit low, you know, feet, again, yards, height wise, 63 feet, so sorry, 63 yards height. So not the highest there, but it's still, you know, it's getting better. And it just shows you, if you have the swing speed for this, it can really work for you. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 for distance, because let's be honest, this thing's an absolute monster. A lot of the main players on tour use it. You know, when I was at Wentworth, I saw a lot of these clubs out there, to be fair, a lot of Callaways out there, you know, these triple diamonds, because they are an absolute monster. They're definitely one of the longest out there at the moment. So 5 out of 5, you know, when I was getting the correct swing speed I needed for this club to basically perform, I got it. So there you go. I'm giving it 5 out of 5, even though on average, yes, it's below sort of what I would expect, but that's just because this isn't built for me. So 5 out of 5 distance. If you've got your swing speed on average over 100 miles per hour, you will love this thing. It will be great for you. So there you go. Moving on to feel. Feel wise, I have given this a 3 out of 5. It feels nice. I like the sound of it, but I've never been a massive fan of the feel of Callaways. They feel a bit muted for me. You know, I love the feel of sort of my Cobra here. I love the feel of Titleist, Mizuno drivers. You know, I prefer a little bit more, a softer feel perhaps. while this is a little more sort of blunter feel, you know, I could definitely tell where my missed hits were, but personally just not necessarily a massive fan of the feel. And obviously when you move that 14 gram weight to the front, it got even worse, so do be aware of that. But that's just my preference. I know a lot of people who play Callaway and love the feel of them. You know, I just prefer a little bit of a softer feel, such as Cobra, such as Mizuno, such as Titleist, etc. So there you go. But it's not a bad feel at all. It's just not my feel. And you read a lot of reviews, and a lot of reviews, again, they love it. I love the sound. The sound of it's great, really do. Going on to looks, I'm giving it 4 out of 5. I love the shape of it. I do. You know, it's a great looking club. I'm just not a huge fan of the way they've done that. You know, the way I understand why they've done that carbon effect on the top is the idea that that's a different color throughout, and it could be quite off-putting on the top of it. But you know, maybe make that top color that color gray sort of thing to really, you know, be the same color throughout. You know, it's just, they're just slightly off, and I don't quite like it personally. So that's the only reason it's getting a 4 out of 5. Overall, I love the shape, I love the bottom of it. It is a very good looking driver, but it's just that different tone of colors, just not a fan of. So 4 out of 5. Moving on to forgiveness. Forgiveness for this type of club is good, it really is. But remember, this is still a better players triple diamond, low spinning monster. So the forgiveness isn't going to be amazing. So 3 out of 5. I think that is, for this type of club, is very, very good. You know, it is, because it is a better player club out there. It's low spin. You know, normally these things are really unforgiving, and this definitely had plenty of forgiveness there for the type of player that this is aimed at. I mean, plenty of forgiveness. I mean, a lot of forgiveness. I mean, even though technically I wasn't getting the ball speed up, I wasn't quite getting the amount of distance I wanted, my dispersion was really good with this. They were all very consistent sharps. Maybe one was a bit lower than the other when it came down to height, but generally all ending up roughly around the same sort of area, just maybe one being a bit longer, one being a bit shorter, etc. You know, dispersion was really, really good with this. I was really happy with that. And I actually took it down the range again and tried. Again, found the dispersion really, really good. So the forgiveness there is good. So it is a 3 out of 5. But don't get me wrong, it is not a forgiving club. If you want maximum forgiveness, look at the max, look at different clubs. You know, this is the monster, basically. And from the monster, it has good forgiveness. So yeah, 3 out of 5. Generally really happy, and quite impressed with it, to be fair, for the caliber of club, especially the fact that Paradym was really unforgiving. So I was really quite impressed that they really have racked up the forgiveness in this. Now, it comes down to price. I'm giving it 2.5 out of 5. The price is what it is. You know, it's a new club. You're looking around just under $600 in the US. You're looking just under sort of £500 in the UK. eBay now, you're sort of the triple diamond. You're getting around the £300 mark. The max, etc., is over, which is around what, $375, I want to say, roughly, maybe a little bit more. If you're looking at the max in the other clubs, they tend to go for a little bit more because the demand's a little bit more, because there's more average golfers looking to get these. Well, obviously, the lower guys are looking to get these. I will say, obviously, we're coming to the end of 2024, so this will be replaced next year. So definitely something, you know, if you are that quick swing speed player, definitely worth keeping an eye out for this next year, because, you know, this price will drop and you could potentially pick yourself up a great bargain. So there you go. Or if you want a great bargain and you want to save yourself a bit of money, have a look at the Rogue ST Triple Diamond. I love that. It was a really good club, to be fair, and it performed really well, even for my swing speed. I actually averaged lower than this when it came down to swing speed, and I got a lot better results. But watch the versus video for the full info about that. Anyway, guys, so there you go. There's my review of the Callaway Paradym Ai Smoke Triple Diamond. Bit of a tongue twister there. Beautiful club, really is, really good. Callaway really have been pumping out the past couple of years, pumping out some really good performing clubs, especially in that sort of triple diamond sort of category, and this is no exception. They've improved the forgiveness from last year, which is great. Distance wise, it's still an absolute monster. You know, feel wise, it's good. Not necessarily how I'd like the feel, but I know a lot of you out there will probably love it. Looks wise, it's good. It is a full package club. So there you go. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Do remember to hit the subscription button if you did, and hit that bell icon so you do not miss out on weekly golf reviews that come out every Sunday, or sort of, your small, your second-hand clubs, and obviously so you don't miss out on brand new stuff as well that comes out on Friday, and versus videos as well, and more and more and more and more. So do remember to hit that subscription button and give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and remember to comment down below, you know, have you used a triple diamond before? If you have, what are your thoughts about it? All right guys, I'll see you soon for the next ACS golf video. See you then.